Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading for July 18th to the 24th. Let's get started for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. See what messages we will receive for the week ahead. Keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so just take the messages that do resonate, leave the rest behind, and try checking out your other placements for the whole complete picture. Okay, let's get started here. Sagittarius, what are the messages? What is the energy around your week ahead for Sag, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Ooh, a higher view. Look at this card. I just love it. Beautiful image there. Card 41, a higher view. So, Sag, what are you looking at through a very limited perspective this week? Where do you find the opportunity to expand your thoughts? That card really makes me think you've got to tap into the thoughts, how you're thinking about things, and also this idea of your intuition, to see things from a higher perspective by letting go of judgment, sort of being not attached to the outcomes, being unbiased, sort of seeing everything as it is without evaluation or judgment. This can be sometimes challenging because in our everyday lives, sometimes we can't really see beyond our own experience, and we get stuck sort of looking at things in terms of how they affect us only. And that's fair enough, because ultimately every experience is trying to teach you something about yourself. But when you look at things from a higher perspective, you can sort of see things beyond just your part of the story. You can sort of see things from a higher perspective. And it can assist in releasing your old patterns. And it can also assist us in avoiding, in sort of avoiding triggers. I was going to say in avoiding the comfort zone, but it's also sort of the same idea in that sometimes when we're in our comfort zone, we are completely safe from anything that might trigger us. But those triggers are the things that sort of lead to our evolution, right? It's funny ideas coming to my mind of the idea like when you're working out with weights, right? You're wanting to build muscle, but the first step in building muscle is creating little micro tears in your muscle so that they can grow. And so without those little tears, there's no growth. And it's sort of the same idea here, that if you stay in your comfort zone, then that's it. Your comfort zone becomes your prison and your coffin, and that's it. Like, that's where things will stay and stagnate. And so this idea of looking at things from a higher perspective, a higher view, number one, gets you to see beyond yourself. And number two, it gets you to sort of see that things always have this way of connecting in a way that allows us to be free from blaming, from assuming, from seeing obstacles as sort of a painful thing instead of seeing them as moments of triumph. You know what I mean? Like when you overcome an obstacle, yes, okay, the obstacle was tough, right? But if we just see the obstacle and then we turn around and leave, it's sort of this idea, well then again, you're back in that comfort zone. Does that make sense? It's very interesting, the messages coming through the energy of this card. It's really letting go of blaming things and using those obstacles as a way of discovering your capacity, right? It's almost like you see things always as a gift from the universe, even when it's a big fat obstacle. That in and of itself could be a gift. And you can see it that way when you have this perspective. I chatted for almost 5 minutes about this card. Let's jump into the tarot cards, but it's very interesting to sort of reframe obstacles, reframe things, and seeing them from a higher view to really understand how this may fit into a bigger picture of an experience that's trying to teach you something, yes, about yourself, but also about how everything is really connected. Interesting. Okay, Sagittarius. Let's see here. 4 of Wands. See, this is a gateway. You are passing through a gateway here, and the road to get to this may have had a lot of obstacles, but those obstacles, by overcoming them, you got here. So were they really obstacles, or is that just the way we name things that are difficult? There's that King of Swords again, reminding us he's in reverse. So this is really a time to shift into this higher view. When this King of Swords, when he's upright, is really able to be very shifty in terms of strategy and that analytical mind to see things from multiple perspectives. So seeing the King of Swords in reverse sort of confirms to me that you're being guided to shift out of sort of a tiny way of looking at things and to expand into this higher view. And part of that is really going to free you to see things as they are, not just as you interpret them to be, which could be very limited. Again, we've got the Tower, we've got the Knight of Rods, and then the Two of Swords and the Ace of Cups in reverse. You're the first sign I'm sort of doing a different style of this reading. There's the Star card. So this is very, very healing and transforming. There's the Death card. The Knight of Cups is also here with the Knight of Rods, and the Sun card in reverse with the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. So this really tells me that there is a moment of transformation here, Sagittarius, and it's going to be very illuminating. It could be very disturbing to your daily pattern right now, okay? But ultimately, it's going to bring you to this place where I feel like you're going to have to shift into a space where you trust yourself, you love yourself, and you sort of remove any blinders when it comes to how you interpret what's going on around you. Instead of seeing things as happening to you, to see them as happening for you, and to shift your perspective around how open you're willing to be, and to see that if there is no mud, there can be no lotus. And I say that because we've got this Ace of Cups in reverse. And I can't help but think that the Ace of Cups is in reverse here because the way we're viewing things is a little pessimistic this week, right? A little pessimism. And it's kind of bringing you to a place where you're being guided to overflow that Ace of Cups onto yourself. It's time to nurture yourself. It's time to make sure that you're not holding back and that your heart is open. You know what I mean? There are some powerful, powerful new adventures awaiting you, but it's almost like you have to break free from something that's holding you back. That Four of Wands makes me think that you are really passing through an important sort of transformational moment right now. There is something really transforming around you right now, but it's almost like you've got the blinders on and you're holding them against your face. Like you don't want to see the full truth right now. And I'm kind of curious as to why that is. Is it because you feel confused? Is it because you're afraid? Is it because you feel like there is no choice that feels right? These moments of discomfort can be the most intriguing ones of all, because it can signify to us that the ground beneath our feet is about to shift completely. You know what I mean? Oh, Sagittarius. This is going to be something that is, I said already, it's very transformative, but it's going to bring you to a new place with things. And it feels sort of like it's going to be very inspiring. It's going to sort of put you on the path to pursue something that is very adventurous and very, very much within your passion. Like, you're going to feel driven towards this with that Knight of Wands, and very connected to it in terms of the emotions with that Knight of Cups. But I really can't help but feel like it's your perspective that needs shifting when I see that King of Swords in reverse and the Sun card in reverse. That really makes me feel like there's too much rigidity in your thinking right now, maybe too much control. Maybe you're trying too much to calculate something that is not calculatable. Again, we see that higher view. You've got to expand your view instead of keeping it limited to a few set scenarios that you have in your mind. It's very interesting. That Sun card in reverse is also bringing me to a place that says your mindset is what needs to change, and that you may be lacking confidence in yourself to find the inspiration to move out of this negative mindset. You need a shift, and it's happening. I bet you're feeling very uncomfortable right now. You might be really, really feeling uncomfortable. And I think that this needs gentleness. You need to offer yourself love and kindness this week as you try to sort of surrender to this shifting energy. And I think the thing that would serve you the most is to examine your perspective. Like, this first card sort of got us on that track already. The King of Swords, the Ace of Cups, this Two of Swords. Surrender to this. This might be a week to sort of invest yourself where you feel creative and inspired. That could be the way to sort of shift yourself into a different space while this is sort of being uncovered, you know? I think that's why we see the Knight of Rods there and the Star card. Like, this might be a week for you to sort of really go where you feel nurtured, where you feel excited and inspired. If you catch yourself sort of feeling low and bored and feeling stuck, shake it off. Maybe get up and dance, or paint a picture, or go for a walk outside, or go swimming if you live near water. You know, if you live near a body of water, just to sort of float almost, you know, like allow yourself to even surrender physically to the water and just float and gaze up at the sky. You know, really nurture yourself this week. I don't know why I'm seeing you around water. Okay, we see control issues, unnecessary worries, and natural beauty and authenticity. I'm also going to grab the bottom of the deck for you, which is wellness. Okay, let's have a look at all of these. So wellness was on the bottom of the deck, and it says here the recovery of health and wellness is here. You need some lovey time with yourself. Love yourself this week. Nurture yourself this week. Surrender unnecessary worries. This is all going to shift. You just have to shift your perspective. Release the burdens of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. And also, I feel like shifting your perspective on obstacles. Sometimes right before we experience something that's outside of our control that will shift the energy around us, we feel super uncomfortable. So take that uncomfort as a sign that things are about to shift. Control issues. Utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may be trying to control you or you're trying to control the outcomes. Natural beauty and authenticity. Just be yourself as God made you, naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. Sagittarius, this reading has been very interesting. I feel like shifting your perspective and nurturing yourself is really what you're being guided to do. Shift your perspective to a higher one. Don't look at things on face value this week. See the metaphor in everything this week. What is this experience teaching you about yourself and about the connectiveness of all things. And that maybe that obstacle is there for you to overcome it, not for you to run from it. Do you know what I mean? This is very interesting. Very interesting reading this week. I'm going to leave it at that. If this has resonated for you, my friends, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find that information in the description below. All right, my friends, sending you so much love and light. Take care. See you again soon.